I need to talk about something, and honestly, I've been putting this video off for weeks because I kept hoping Rockstar would just finally do something. Of course, at the time you're watching this, they haven't done anything. No trailer 3, no gameplay, nothing. So I had to make this video. Well, as I'm sure all of you have seen by now, Rockstar actually announced something. Granted, it's not trailer 3 or a gameplay trailer yet, but at least we have confirmation that something is coming on August 27th. I'm hoping it's something substantial, like a full gameplay walkthrough, but we'll have to wait and see. I had already recorded and edited this video before the news, but I still think everything I talk about in this video is valid and I still stand by it. Anyway, back to the video. Grand Theft Auto 6 is without a doubt the game I am most excited for in a long time, maybe ever. And to be clear, I'm not here to dunk on Rockstar as a hater. I'm here because I'm a fan who is genuinely actually frustrated. And I think a lot of you are too. So let's talk about it. GTA 6's marketing has been awful. Not the game. I have no idea if the game's good. None of us do yet. I'm talking about the marketing, the silence, the way this entire rollout has been handled. Because something here just does not add up, and I don't understand it. Let's start with the thing that made me want to make this video in the first place. Grand Theft Auto 6 is releasing on November 19th, 2026. That means that we are roughly 4 months away from release. Only 4 months. That's nothing. That is not a long time for the biggest video game launch of all time. And I say this honestly, before I sat down to make this video, I genuinely forgot GTA 6 was that close to releasing. Like, I actually forgot. That's not normal. That shouldn't be happening for a game this big, this close to release. And if I forgot, despite being one of the most invested people in this fan base, imagine the casual gamer who's only kind of paying attention. They won't even have a clue anymore. That's the whole problem in one sentence. Honestly, I just don't understand how we got here. Let's lay out factually everything we've officially gotten from Rockstar. Because when you put it all in a single timeline, it's honestly kinda crazy. December 2023, Trailer 1 drops. Over 90 million views on YouTube in 24 hours. May 2025, almost a year and a half later, Trailer 2 finally arrives. Also just shadow dropped with basically no notice. June 2026, pre-orders go live alongside a batch of screenshots. Standard edition at $80, Ultimate edition at $100. And that's it. That is the entire official marketing output for GTA 6, 3 years after the game was first announced. 2 trailers and 1 batch of screenshots. Now this is where it actually gets crazy. Rockstar opened pre-orders, meaning they asked people to hand over money, without ever showing a single second of real gameplay. Not one clip. We have never seen this game actually being played. We've seen cinematic trailers, we've seen static screenshots, and that's the entire basis on which people are pre-ordering this $100 game. I just don't get it. You can ask people to pre-order a game before it's finished. Sure, that's normal. But asking people to pre-order a game before they've seen it played, at a moment when marketing was supposedly already underway? That's a first for a release this size, and it's a weird hill to stand on. Here's where it gets even more frustrating for me, because Rockstar has literally done this better before. This isn't some new studio that doesn't know how to build hype. This is the same company. Look at GTA 5. First trailer dropped on November 2011. Second trailer about a year later. Then, in the final stretch before release, Rockstar absolutely flooded us. 3 separate reveal trailers. For Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, a full gameplay trailer, a GTA Online gameplay trailer, and 1 more trailer right before launch. That's 8 pieces of marketing before release day, with the back half of that campaign being full of reveals and surprises. Red Dead Redemption 2 followed basically the same shape. Reveal trailer, then a wait, but once they got close to release, it was trailer after trailer, gameplay breakdowns, world details, character features, almost weekly content leading into launch. That's how it should be. That's how it's been for the last decade. Quiet at first, but then loud at the end. GTA 6 for the majority has been really quiet, which is actually fine. That's very on brand for Rockstar. But we are supposedly in the final phase right now, where the marketing is supposed to be firing on all cylinders, and it is still dead silent. That's the part that's not consistent with everything we've seen before. That's the part that doesn't make sense to me, or anyone else. I know what some of you are thinking, because I see it in Reddit or Twitter threads all the time. This is just how Rockstar is. They're silent and have little to no communication. That's their strategy. And yeah, I get where that comes from. Rockstar has always been secretive. Go back and look at GTA Online. Major updates, entire DLCs, sometimes dropped with basically zero warning. A tweet, and then it's live. That silence as a strategy thing genuinely worked for them for over a decade, because it kept people talking. And with how passionate the fanbase is, that's basically free marketing. And honestly, it worked for GTA 6 too, at least early on. The mystery around the first trailer, the total blackout for a year and a half between trailers, that fueled some of the biggest hype cycles gaming has ever seen. I'm not denying that. But here's the thing, that strategy doesn't work forever. Being silent when you're teasing a game is smart. Being silent when you are trying to sell the most anticipated game of all time, 4 months before launch, when you're already asking people to pre-order it, that's not mysterious anymore. That's just not marketing the game. There's a difference between building intrigue and actually doing your job. And right now it feels like Rockstar is coasting on a reputation for the former while completely skipping the latter. Now let's talk about what actually matters here, which is what this silence is doing to the fanbase. Because this is where I actually get frustrated. Anticipation and hype are not the same thing. Anticipation is just knowing something is coming and being generally interested in it. On the other hand, hype is the active, can't stop talking about it energy, and hype has to be built. It doesn't just exist because a game is good or because a franchise is beloved. You build hype with trailers, with gameplay reveals, with drip-fed information, with things people can actually talk about. You cannot build hype out of nothing. And right now, GTA 6 has anticipation without hype. Everyone knows about the game, everyone still wants the game. But scroll through social media right now, and it doesn't feel electric. It feels tired. People have moved from excitement to exhaustion, and some of that exhaustion is turning into frustration. And that's a dangerous place to let your hype train sit 4 months before launch. I've seen the shift in sentiment myself. Early on, the fanbase was in this constant state of theorizing every tiny detail. Now, a huge chunk of the conversation is people joking whether Rockstar even remembers the game is coming out. Fans have openly said this is the longest gap of silence in the franchise's history, and when the pre-orders dropped without a trailer, plenty of people online called it confusing and said that everything felt completely backwards. I just don't understand the logic. You can't build hype retroactively 3 weeks before launch. If you let the hype die out, you can't just get it back by dropping one trailer in October and act like you haven't ignored your fanbase for months. We should probably also talk about the many false promises we've heard so far regarding the marketing and launch of this game. Take-Two's CEO, Strauss Zelnick, has been asked about this directly, on multiple earnings calls, going back to earlier this year. And every single time, the answer has basically been some version of, "Don't worry, marketing is coming this summer." He said it back in February. He said a version of it again in May, basically telling people that once it's summer, the marketing push begins. He said it again in April at an industry conference, this time using the word soon, so that it's August. Summer is basically over. And what have we gotten since that comment? Pre-orders and one batch of screenshots back in June. No trailer 3, no gameplay reveal, no campaign. Just the same silence. Just a bunch of false promises. I'm not saying anyone is outright lying. There's still time before November, and there's an earnings call literally happening in the coming days where they could finally show something. But I think it's fair to say the company set an expectation, put a specific time frame, and then let it pass with almost nothing to show for it. And look, I have to bring this up because I think it's connected to everything else. This game has already been delayed twice. First from 2025 to May 2026. Then again, from May 2026 all the way to November 2026. And if you actually look at the pattern from both of those delays, long stretches of silence followed suddenly by an announcement, it's hard not to feel a little uneasy right now, given that we're once again sitting in a long stretch of silence. I want to be clear, I'm not saying it's definitely getting delayed again. Take-Two has been firm that November 19th is happening and won't move, but I also understand why this is making people distrust them, because it's the same thing as before. Go quiet, let people speculate, then either drop something or drop a delay announcement. When you've been burned twice, that pattern starts to feel less like a coincidence. I really genuinely hope this doesn't happen a third time. But who knows at this point? Nothing Rockstar does makes any sense. And as if the marketing silence wasn't enough, we also got hit with the physical media situation. When pre-orders finally went live, we learned that the physical edition of the game isn't actually a disc. It's a code in a box. No disc at launch. Rockstar has said an actual disc version will follow months later, but at launch, for the biggest game ever made, you're paying full price for a piece of cardboard with the download code inside. And this hit at basically the worst possible time, because Sony also announced they're ending physical disc production for new games entirely going forward. So now you've got this whole conversation happening at once. Physical media dying, ownership becoming this platform-controlled thing, and GTA 6 is sitting right in the middle of it. It's just not a good look. Combine that with zero gameplay, zero real marketing, and a fan base that's already on edge from the silence, and you've got a launch that feels more like damage control before it's even out. I want to be really clear about something. I'm not saying this game will fail. I think when GTA 6 actually comes out, it is going to be huge. It's probably going to break every record that exists. None of that is really in question. What I am frustrated about is the lead up. The experience of being a fan of this franchise and looking forward to this next entry and the hype build up hasn't been done justice. Rockstar knows how to do this. They've done it before. And instead we got a strategy that leans so hard into mystery that it forgot to actually market the damn thing. I just don't understand why a company with this much money would let the single biggest launch in gaming history coast into its final months on 2 trailers and a screenshot dump. Anticipation was never going to be the problem. Hype had to be built. And right now, with 4 months left, it just isn't there the way it should be. So yeah, that's my rant. Let me know if you feel the same way, or if you think I'm just a hater. I don't know. I'd genuinely like to know if it's just me. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you can, subscribe or like the video. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers.